Welcome back, everybody, to today's episode. We have a special guest, like always. Norberto is back. Shout out to Norberto. We have an interesting conversation today. We're going to talk about psychopaths. I feel like I had a conversation with a group of friends of ours, right? And we were talking about what is the difference between psychopaths and sociopaths. And I'm pretty sure Norberto and I got our little, stories, our interaction with people with psychopaths. And we're going to break it down. Mi hermano Norberto, welcome back.
Thank you.
Yo creo que this is episode 40-something. Tú sabes.
That's it? It's only been 40 episodes?
40-something episodes, like 45?
Okay.
Around there. Yeah.
It's a good number.
It's a good number, right?
Yeah, it's a good number of episodes.
You've
had a wide variety of people at this point.
Yeah, I had comedians, business owners. I want to bring more business owners and stuff like that.
Can we do a check-in? How do you feel about the podcast so far? Because I feel like you've had a good variety of people on at this point.
I'm enjoying what I'm doing, but I'm also at the same time feel like I'm figuring it out at the same time.
Yeah.
There's highs and lows, and sometimes I focus so much on the numbers, and I have to remind myself. I'm like, I just want to continue and create a good product para la gente.
Sí.
¿Tú entiendes? And I want to be able to talk about what I want to talk about.
Yeah.
Right. So
it's good. I like it. I think it's dope.
I've been having fun.
Yeah.
And this is how I get you to the house. Because tú no me visitas, tú no llamas a uno.
Pues aquí la vida, ¿verdad?
Once your friends got a girlfriend, they forget about you. Is that what it is?
I think that might be part of it, yeah.
Oh, okay. Before we go over there, we were talking about dating life. Mm-hmm. Is dating life today broken?
I don't think it's broken. I think it's evolved. I think maybe it could just be that every generation has thought of dating as its own. Maybe every generation has thought that dating life is broken. Who knows? But I think for us, we have this thing of technology, right? Mm-hmm. I think the amount of people that use apps and everything, it's become the norm. So I see why people say that it's broken, but I think it's just an evolution of dating life.
I don't know. I think dating life I could say it's broken. Then the reason why is if you look at our age, bro, we're supposed to have kids by now. We're supposed to be married. But we're still, estamos de zángano. We're so quick to be like, I think we live a lifestyle that be like, you know what? Do I want to sacrifice my life for somebody else?
Are you concerned about kids and getting married?
I think about that. Don't you think about that?
Sometimes, but not for the right reasons, I think. I think for me, I've always known that I don't really want kids.
You don't want kids at all. Want kids, so when you get old and you're dying.
Here's the thing. I think when I was younger, I was I definitely don't want kids. I no kids, punto y final. And now that I'm gonna turn 38 in December, I think for me, I'm not as closed off to it as I once was. I'm you know what? If it happens with the right person, great. Y si no, it's all good.
So that you don't feel that pressure inside of you, what about when you get old and you see what I'm saying?
I guess that's the thing about it. I'm not even thinking about the future.
What about when you can't wipe your ass? Who's gonna wipe your ass?
I think I'll have an app for that.
So you're gonna call somebody. You're gonna task rabbit.
I'm gonna task rabbit.
A Filipino to wipe your ass.
Why is it gotta be Filipino?
Because it's usually a Filipino.
No mames.
That's what you want. That's exactly what you're saying right now. That you want a Filipino to wipe your ass.
I didn't want a Filipino. I just said somebody. It can be anybody. I don't discriminate.
Most likely it's going to be either Mexican or Filipino. You have to choose.
Lo que sea.
Una señora. Tú quieres una señora que ven.
Hijo de tu madre. Cut this.
I'm keeping this in. So you want a señora to come over here.
Here's the thing. I'm not thinking about the future like that. And I think
we have to think about this because we're 40.
Maybe it's irresponsible of me. Maybe it is. But I think also there's so much happening in the current time that it's hard to be able to plan out what I want for the future. We got bills to pay. We got taxes to pay. We are so overwhelmed by what's happening in the world. We're overwhelmed by work. We're overwhelmed by the economy at the moment.
Yeah.
To think about how we're going to properly plan for the future. And I think that's probably why there's not that many people having kids anymore.
Yeah.
And also, I think we got sold of this thing about the American dream that by 30 you should have had kids and had a house and all that stuff. I think that's bullshit. That doesn't exist.
Well, wait a minute. Think about it. If you think about it, back in the day, we didn't live past 30 years old, which means that...
I mean, back in the day, how far back in the day are we talking about?
We'll talk about fucking during the Jesus times.
Oh, during the Jesus times. Okay, like year 2.
The BC.
Yeah, the BC.
The year 1.
No, negative 3 or something like that. Okay.
But if you think about it, our life expectancy has expanded to like 70-something years, which is great. Mm-hmm. But back then, our lifespan was that when you in your 30s, ya nosotros somos viejos, somos ancianos. We're like grandparents.
Yeah.
Right? People used to get married at 18, 19, having kids at that time. But now, like, we're supposed to have kids that are graduating from college already. Right?
They should have already done that
by now.
By now?
Yes.
So we should have been like already seeing our kids off to...
Yes. They're leaving the nest.
That's wild.
Our kids should be leaving the nest by now. But like in our 40s. Right?
Yeah, no, I'm still thinking about groceries. How am I going to buy, oat milk?
I understand, but the thing is, a lot of people.
I'm still struggling with my H&R Block.
I know. And then
should I use the free version or the government version? I don't know.
You got to do like Trump, not pay no taxes.
I tried doing that, and then I was like, nah, I'm not.
I'm about to get arrested.
I'm not that brave. See, that's as far into the future as I can plan. Don't get arrested.
You're absolutely right, because if you think about it, like, before you could have kids, and people have a whole bunch of kids because they had a lot of the programs that would help them out, whatever. And it wasn't too expensive. Right now, it's extremely expensive to have kids. You have to really think about it.
Yeah.
Like, let's say daycare is like what, $1,800. It's like rent money. It's like $1,000, I think.
Yeah.
$1,000 a month. Daycare. We're not even talking about healthcare for the kid.
Mm-hmm.
You need to at least have a job to provide healthcare for the kid.
Yeah.
All right. And so it's like, it's extremely expensive now. Groceries are super expensive now. Food, haircuts. If you encompass all of that.
Taking them to the movies.
Taking them out to the movies. Back in the day, like, I was talking to my dad, and I was like, Papi, like, how was it back then? He was like, bro, like, it was easier to have kids. I was able to take all of you guys out for like $5. Mm-hmm. You guys everybody would eat for like $5.
Yeah. I'm
like, that was okay. But now, I'm at least like a family. I don't know how these family people are making it happen, but if you go out once, that's $300, $300 to $500, especially depending how many kids you have.
That's wild.
That's a plane ticket to the Bahamas.
Can't even take myself out. Can't even take myself out to the movies. First off, how am I gonna take out my girl? How am I going to take out kids? How am I going to take out my grandchildren to the movies? Can't even do that. What am I thinking about having kids for?
That's true.
I'd rather have a plant, a little succulent.
Okay.
Spray it with some water.
Yeah. And it's cheaper. You just got to give it sunlight.
Yeah, just a little bit of sunlight, yeah. Here's the thing, though. We choose to live in New York City.
True.
We choose to be creatives.
Okay.
Could it be that we could live the lifestyle that you're talking about? The American dream. If we lived like in Nebraska and wanted to live a normal Midwest life,
like in a farm or something.
In a farm, do you think that would be a much more?
Yeah, I think things would be cheaper over there.
Yeah, but I don't want that life. Do you?
I don't know. I kind of want.
You do?
I kind of want to go back to the Dominican Republic and go to a countryside.
No. Not the Dominican Republic. That's different.
Nebraska?
Because I could just say I'm going to go back to, I'm going to go to Mexico and just live there.
I'm
talking about a cheap place in the United States, like, let's say, Nebraska.
I don't think I want to live in Nebraska. I also don't know Nebraska. So maybe I got to go and check it out. How about we go to Nebraska and we check it out and be like, oh.
One time when we were planning a road trip, my friend and I, we were like, it's going to be a cross-country road trip. And he was like, well, whatever you do not go through Nebraska. Why? It's flat. There's nothing there.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
But it's cheaper than you Gucci.
I don't think so.
Yeah, I
want to live life. I want to be living in a city that has energy and that it's vibrant and that it has options and that's walkable and that has a deli.
That's what I love about New York City. Bruh.
I love this.
I love it here. It is sometimes when it's freezing cold, I hate it.
No, even better. I like it. I like winters.
But I like it better than living in LA.
LA will always be home.
It will always be like, yeah, I love LA. I got a
See,
my heart.
I'm spoiled. That's the thing about it. LA, New York,
Yeah.
great cities to live in, and
Yeah.
would never want to live anywhere outside of that. Having said that,
What about San Diego?
San Diego's a good place to visit.
Bruh. San Diego is the best city in the United States of America.
That's
The best city.
debatable.
Hands down, there's no better city than San Diego.
good fish tacos, good tacos in general. Tacos
Yes.
de gordo. Shout out tacos de gordo.
Yeah, burritos. The California burritos
Let's
came
put
from
out
San Diego.
collab. Sure, we'll give you that.
Okay.
Good cliffs.
Great cliffs, mountains,
beach.
beaches, a lot of
Love it.
beaches. The lifestyle. San Diego people are very loving, inviting. On a Tuesday night, you'd be like, yo, let's go and have a bonfire. Everybody be down. You'll have a bonfire. You could have a bonfire every single night in San Diego.
So why aren't you living there?
I don't know. Because I want to do comedy, and comedy's here.
It's almost, it's
LA
almost like San Diego is a good place to visit, but not to stay there.
But the thing is, because the job opportunities, LA is the job opportunities.
Mm-hmm.
LA was the film and the BuzzFeed. That's the reason I only went to LA. Because I was like, at first, before that, I was like, I would never move to LA. Then I moved to LA. You hit mierda. I was going to San Diego every month. Remember that?
Yeah.
And then after, I was like, okay, if I'm going to do comedy, I got to be in the heart of comedy. And I'm a New Yorker, so I got to come to New York. So I came here for that. If there was no New York comedy, if the comedy scene in New York wasn't what it is, I'd probably be in San Diego or Dominican Republic in the countryside, con una gallina.
So at the end of the day, we choose to have this life.
Yes, we do.
We choose not to have kids.
Mm.
We choose this. Those are like, I feel like that's the sacrifice of living in a city like this. That we're not going to be able. And again, this isn't to knock anybody who has kids or anything like that. But in general, we choose to live the life that we do because we choose to live in cities like this.
Do you think there's a part of us that's a little selfish?
Very. Very, absolutely. It's very selfish.
Very selfish.
Yeah.
You know, I got a question for you. Do you like being in a relationship?
I do.
Yeah?
Yeah. Of course I like being in a relationship. It's one of those things of getting older, and then I don't want to date anymore. I don't.
No.
I think
Do you think there's benefits in being in a relationship?
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, why does it feel like there's no benefit in being in a relationship?
That's you though.
That's me?
Why? Hold on. Now that's the question. Why do you feel there's no benefit?
Because I feel like, it's more expensive to be in a relationship nowadays. You know? Two, you got to report to somebody to let them know where you at.
Report to somebody.
So they got to know now.
You got the Navy going on. You got to
why
report
you
to
didn't
somebody.
call me? I'm like, I don't know. I don't want to call you today.
You
can't sleep with other people.
Well, that's the thing about it. I think you got to find the right person.
Uh-huh.
So that it doesn't feel like you're reporting to them, but rather that you're, making a life with them.
Gotcha.
You got to find the right person. I think when it comes to finding the right person, a lot of this stuff isn't as tedious as you think.
I've never seen a happy married guy. I've talked to all my boys that are married and be like, yo, and I see them with his family and they're beautiful, and I see that their kids are growing up. I'm like, oh, then the kids are popping up out of nowhere, and then and I just see their face like defeated, and I ask them like, yo, and sometimes I'll be like, yo, I want a family, I want to have kids and want to, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Want a wife, and then he's like, don't do it. They all tell me don't do it. They're like, he said the married man always wants to be single and the single always want to be married. So,
Qué triste.
Qué triste fue decirnos adiós.
Oye, but here's the thing. I've never seen unhappy married men. What I have seen is unhappy parents.
You know what? I think
no duermen,
yeah.
It's hard.
Yeah.
You're caring for a whole life. There's the added stress. That's 24 hours. That's going to be like that
for a very long time. That's more responsibility,
Mm-hmm.
extra stress, the crying, the anxiety.
Yeah. And again, there's happy parents. This is not to say that there's no no happy parents at all. But that's why I'm saying it's selfish of me because I don't want that.
I don't know, but sometimes there's a part of me that goes like, I want a little kid that look like me.
Why?
I don't know. I want to see a little me out running around. But I just know how horrible I was as a kid. And I'm going to, all that shit that I did to my parents, he going to do it to me. And I'll be like,
that's the karma coming
that's
back.
karma. I'm afraid of karma. That's what it is. Que ese hijo de la gran puta come and ruin my life like I ruined my parents' life.
That's exactly it. What goes around comes around.
That what goes around comes around.
Damn.
I want to touch on those spots. I was hanging out. I was in the birthday party, right? And I was hanging out with Sasha and stuff like that. And there was a couple of people there. And we were talking about psychopaths, bro. And there was an interesting conversation with psychopaths. What are you laughing at?
How does it just come up that you're talking about psychopaths?
Yeah, because we were there. I don't know why. I don't know how the conversation came about, but like Sasha came out and said something extremely interesting. She said that sociopaths and psychopaths are the same thing, right? And she said that psychopaths are more organized than sociopaths. Sociopaths are disorganized, but they lack empathy. They don't understand social cues. That they even practice it. And then what she said is the psychopaths tend to be in position of power. So majority of the people in the position of power are technically psychopaths.
Is that a proper terminology?
I could check it out.
Let's see. Let's look at it. Psychopaths versus sociopaths.
Do you think that psychopaths are winning?
Yeah, look at the president.
Okay. What's the definition? What is a...
All right. Both sociopaths and psychopaths are characterized by a lack of empathy, manipulativeness, and disregard for others, often falling under the diagnosis of antisocial personality disorder, ASPD. The key difference lies in origins and behavior. Psychopaths are often considered born or genetic and are cold, calculating, and charming, while sociopaths are often made, environment and trauma, and are impulsive, erratic, and aggressive.
So sociopaths are made and psychopaths are born like that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
If you think about it, if you're in a position of power and you could be like, oh, I could press this button and kill a whole bunch of people and I could make money out of it. Mm-hmm. You have to be a certain level of psychopath.
Yeah.
But to be born like that. But sociopath sounds like, okay, something happened to me in life that said, F everybody, I don't care.
Yeah.
I don't have any empathy for anybody.
Mm-hmm. They both lack empathy. So they both lack empathy. But psychopaths are apparently calculated and charming. Sociopaths are impulsive and erratic. So psychopaths are dangerous. In the same way that like the American Psycho is a psychopath, right? What's his name? Bates. That was his name. Bateman. Patrick Bateman. You ever seen
Patrick Bateman?
You ever seen American Psycho?
I saw the one with this dude with
Batman.
With Batman, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, his name is not Patrick Bateman.
The character's name is Patrick Bateman.
Oh, okay, yeah. Okay.
Yeah. I can't remember what's his name. It's Batman. It's
Batman. I forgot his name.
¿Cómo se llama? This is old age hitting me up.
God.
Why can I not remember this dude's name? I'm like, it's not Christopher Nolan. Why am I'm blanking out?
Let me see. Christian Bale.
Christian Bale. Shit. This is old age. See, I can't have kids.
So, okay. American Psycho.
So American Psycho is essentially that. Somebody who's calm, charming, has looks, but is essentially like calculating in the way that they are carrying out their lives. And a sociopath, that kind of goes with the name, that society molds them to be this way.
I heard that psychopaths practice like emotions. Like they see how somebody else is emoting to something, and they'll go in front of the mirror and they're like, "Oh, I should be feeling like that." So they'll practice. They don't feel it, but they'll practice feeling a certain way.
Yeah,
you know.
Yeah,
I ain't gonna lie. I do feel like this government is ran by psychopaths.
Absolutely, they are.
Yeah.
Some of them are sociopaths. Stephen Miller.
You think he's a sociopath?
Yeah, that dude got bullied in school. And now look at him. He's out there
attacking Latinos,
being an asshole.
Yeah, this whole war in Iran, like the school with the little girls, like to do these things, to take somebody's life and be okay with it, and be like, we're winning, and I'm okay with it.
You lack empathy.
You lack empathy.
It lacks empathy. And the thing is, I remember even Elon Musk was like, the biggest detriment to society is empathy.
He did say that.
That is some.
He did say that.
That is some fucking.
Charlie Kirk said the same thing.
Psychotic behavior.
Charlie Kirk said what he said. He said empathy was invented by the Democrats.
So according to those definitions, we all got to be psychopaths. We all got to be sociopaths.
I have too much empathy. But I feel everything with somebody. I see something, man, I really feel it. Right? And why do we give psychopaths so much power?
Because they're charming and calculated. Mm-hmm. They don't come across as psychopaths. They come across as charming people who have their shit together.
Yeah, like all these serial. Remember, you ever heard of like Ed Gein? I think was it Ed Gein?
Ed Gein or whatever. Gein.
Was he the one that was like attractive?
No, that was Ted Bundy.
Ted Bundy. Yeah. That's what Ted Bundy. That he was attractive and he was very charming with women.
Charming, yeah. He had a whole fan club and everything.
He had a fan club.
Mm-hmm.
Then he would go out there and he'll kill women. Yeah. He would like set up his car like it was broken down, and the girls would come up like, "Yeah, let me help you out." Sabiendo muy bien que they don't know nothing about cars.
Yeah.
They saw this attractive man. They're like, "Ooh."
Yeah.
And this guy will go somewhere and kill them.
I'm telling you, like, this country is run by psychopaths.
By psychopaths.
But then here's the thing. Did you know that was a definition before between psychopaths and sociopaths?
No. We were having the conversation about psychopaths. I was like, man, it makes a lot of sense now.
Do you think people are born like that? Have you had, looking back, right? Because I think we were also using these words interchangeably, which we shouldn't. Have you had psychopath people in your life or sociopaths?
It's hard to tell because if you think about it, like you wouldn't be able to tell because they're so charming. When somebody's charming, they look like they are empathetic and understanding. But how can you tell the difference? You can't. You're not gonna be able to tell. Yeah. You think people really thought that Ted Bundy was this psychopathic murderer? If you look at Ted Bundy, you're like, man, he's handsome, he's funny. Blah, blah, I want to be his friend.
Yeah.
And he also didn't he have a wife or something like that? Did he have a girlfriend or wife or something?
He had. Let me see.
He had like a girlfriend or something.
Yeah, he was married.
He was married.
Yeah.
And then he'll go out and go kill women and come back home to his wife. Como si no hizo nada.
They were married in 1980 during his trial in Florida, after Bundy utilized an obscure law to declare them married while on the witness stand.
Bruh, can you imagine that you're married to a man for how many years?
Oh, okay. In February 1980, during the penalty phase of his trial for the murder of Kimberly Leach, Bundy proposed to Boone on the stand while acting as his own attorney.
What?
Under Florida law at the time, an open declaration of marriage in court in front of a judge and legal officers was considered valid.
What?
The couple had a daughter named Rose, born in 1982, conceived during prison visits while Bundy was on death row. Boone remained loyal for years, visiting frequently, and eventually divorced Bundy in 1986, 3 years before his 1989 execution, after which she and their daughter disappeared from public life. So he got full-on married after he committed all those crimes. And the woman was like, yeah,
that's the man. That's the man. That's the man for me. I should bear his child.
Mm-hmm.
So this is like a little psychopath going around that we know. How old is the baby now?
Apparently the baby was Born 1982.
Older than me. It was like 40 something years old.
40 something.
Ooh.
You want to talk about psychopaths? That's a real psychopath.
That psychopath is at large.
Whoa.
Tú te imaginas que te casa because she's married with kids.
That's wild, though.
Bruh.
Also, what's up with Florida? God
That was
damn.
Ted Bundy's kids all over the place. That's what it is.
So have you had a Ted Bundy in your life?
That's why Florida voted for Trump.
It's that heat. It's that humidity.
It's that humidity.
It's all those mosquitoes and alligators.
Ted Bundy kids are Cuban now. Oh, this is so wrong.
It's Florida. It's fine.
Florida, it's like the Bronx of America.
No.
You don't think Florida's like the Bronx?
The Bronx is much better. I like the Bronx.
The Bronx is like old Bronx.
I mean,
Bronx used to be. That's what Florida is now.
I like the Bronx. Bronx is cool.
Yeah, but Bronx is good now.
Yeah, it's good now.
But back in the day, Bronx was not good.
Yeah.
I used to walk through the Bronx, and there's still parts of the Bronx that feels like a third world country.
Yeah, I've seen that. I think the Bronx gets a bad rap.
Why do you think that is?
Why? Because that's where all the black and brown people are. So it's always been getting a bad rap.
But there's also a lot of shit that happens in the Bronx.
There's a lot of shit that happens in the Bronx. Yeah, but it's way better, miles better than Staten Island. Ain't nobody want to go there.
Okay. I would say the Bronx is more sociopaths.
I didn't say that.
They're made.
They're made out there. No, Bronx is dope.
I love the Bronx. I still love my people from the Bronx though.
Well, the Bronx is great. I love the Bronx. I love Manhattan's cool.
I love the Bronx now because my people went out there.
Do you get outside Manhattan so much?
I do.
I think I question it. Do you, as a New Yorker who's been living here for years, right, born and raised in Harlem?
True New Yorkers don't leave where they're from.
Okay, why?
Because you're born with a block mentality. It's like, this is my block. Yeah, you don't really go out. Like nowadays, I feel like I do go out a little bit more because like the gentrification. So the people that I grew up with don't live around this area no more.
Yeah,
everybody was pushed out either to Jersey, Bronx, White Plains, and Yonkers.
So you don't explore any of the other neighborhoods, but you decide to go to White Plains, to Yonkers.
Okay, now there's no need to go to certain places unless they're friends over there. Like Astoria, I go a lot to Astoria. There's a lot going on in Astoria. Brooklyn is way different. I went to Brooklyn. Yes, it was on Saturday. I went to Brooklyn.
Yeah.
And no lie, I was surprised of how many white people were taking the train to Brooklyn. Yeah. It was crazy, bro.
Brooklyn is gentrified. Very.
Oh
gentrified.
My God. It's weird that for me to get off the train and white people still stay in the train. So I'm getting off the train before white people are.
Yeah.
That's how gentrified. And then I got outside. It was nighttime. I went outside. I saw, and you see, when it's gentrified when you see a white guy walking a dog.
Where did you go in Brooklyn?
It was Morgan Avenue or something.
Oh, so you went to Bushwick.
Bushwick
is gentrified.
Like a motherfucker.
It is. It's been like that for years.
Is it?
Yeah. Absolutely. Yeah. When I first moved to New York back in 2006, I would go to Williamsburg when there were still warehouses out there. But you could see it being gentrified even then. Yeah. Williamsburg was getting gentrified by a mile. Like it was just, you saw it everywhere. Yeah. And you kind of saw the signs. Oh, it's becoming artsy. So once a neighborhood becomes artsy, suddenly all of these like rich people want to move there because it's the cool place to be at. And so once they start moving there, that's when rent starts going up. Yeah. The high rises start being built. And suddenly before you know it, the neighborhood that you thought was cool is now gentrified.
So you're saying that we should bring back the old racist white people? Bring back the white flight.
Bring back the white flight. No. That's the funny thing about it. White flight, they moved out of New York.
They moved out of New York.
And now the kids of those people are coming back
in. That's true.
They moved out because all these black and brown people were coming into their neighborhoods. We made it our home after they left.
They left the white flight, yep.
And now their kids are coming back.
And they're like, no.
And trying to kick us out.
Yeah. They're retaking their territory.
Or recolonizing.
Recolonizing. That's what it's called.
But I'm curious, as a kid, as a teenager, did you ever go outside of Harlem?
When I was a kid, I didn't go outside of Harlem. Like, that was just like, I'm here in my neighborhood and that's it.
Did you go to the water? Did you go to Hudson?
Yeah, but the Hudson's right here. My Riverbank is right there.
Yeah.
So I'll go a lot over there. That's why I take my dates, because it's cheaper.
Yeah. You got the McDonald's that Jay-Z is from.
Oh yeah, right here. Like my uncles used to be drug dealers right here on 145th.
But you would never go visit stuff in Brooklyn, in Queens. You never go outside of
that Brooklyn. I had an uncle in Brooklyn that I rarely went over there, but it took an hour to get over there, so it didn't make sense to go down to Brooklyn. All my people are here. People from Brooklyn didn't come to Harlem. People from Harlem never went to Brooklyn. That was just a thing.
Yeah.
We hardly didn't go because you stayed in your neighborhood. Mm-hmm. Those days, it's crazy because the block mentality was, this is my neighborhood, this is my block, even though you rent there. Yeah. But this is my block, and then the other blocks are somebody else's neighborhood. And a lot of times you beef for other people's block. Mm-hmm. But also the only places I would go was Dykeman. In Dykeman, there was always a lot of things to do. That's uptown, the Heights. Right, the party scene was crazy back in the day, right? In the house parties and everything. Every party will go to the Heights. Where I barely went to the Bronx. People from Harlem rarely went to the Bronx because a lot of times you go to the Bronx, then if you're not from there, they will always ask you where you from. If you're not from there, they'll attack you.
I do. I see. Even in LA, I used to get that.
Yeah,
I remember my dumbass was like, in middle school, they would ask me, "Where you from?" I'll be like, I'm from Culver City. Bro. That's when my cousin was like, don't just say you're from nowhere.
Yeah.
You're not from anywhere. You're from nowhere.
Why is that? Like, but that was more of a hood mentality. That the hoods were like that. Where you from?
That was yeah, because apparently, and I always remember my cousin telling me that. Say you're from nowhere.
Yeah.
Because they come up to you. Where you from?
Where you from?
Where you from?
Yeah. Who you be?
And I'll be like, I'm from nowhere.
A lot of times gangs do that. They be like, who you be, so that you could tell them what gang you're from.
That's stupid.
Which is, I hate it. But we only do that
man, all these kids thought they were so tough.
I know. But we only did that to other kids of color. Only.
Why not the white people?
They never did it to the white people, because the white people usually the landlord.
I look back at all the stupid cholo shit that these kids used to do.
Bruh.
We all thought we were so tough. We all thought we owned the block. We don't know. We don't know shit.
Yeah, we wanted to be like everybody else.
And that's the thing about it. Like, during all this gentrification stuff, where the cholos at? Where the cholos at?
They got gentrified.
The cholos got gentrified.
Where are the cholos at? I haven't seen a cholo in a minute. Matter of fact, I see a little bit more in East LA. I see a couple of cholos, but I think cholos became more activists. They're older now, but the next generation of kids, they're not really cholos no more.
They're not really cholos.
There's no cholos no more.
It's hard to be a cholo when you got like your phone and you're like,
yeah.
It doesn't have the same appeal.
Let's take a picture, fool.
Hey fool, let's take a picture.
You didn't tag me.
Take a selfie, fool. Why don't you tag me?
Now they do like cholo fit.
Cholo fit. Oh, bro.
Oh man, no. Pues sí, mi hermano. I appreciate you coming. We got.
What did we talk about? What the hell did we talk about?
We talked about everything. That's what we did.
Let's review this latest episode. What's our takeaway here?
Our takeaway, I say, we did talk about everything. We talk about neighborhoods. We talk about psychopaths. How the government is ran by psychopaths, cholos. You asked me about the Bronx.
We talk about how we're not ready to have kids.
We're not ready to have kids.
How San Diego sucks.
San Diego's great. I said San Diego is great.
Talked about Nebraska and San Diego, the same thing.
Why you hating?
And we talked about,
What do you think about the war in Iran?
Terrible.
It's terrible.
Terrible.
Oh, why are we in there?
Stupid.
You know what I'm pissed at the people that are like, I didn't vote for this. I'm like, yes, you did. Yes, you did. You knew they come on. Everybody saw that coming, but you.
It makes me want to. I'm not a violent person, but it makes me want to slap somebody.
Bruh.
Las estupideces que dicen esta gente. O sea, como que no tienen cerebro.
No, pero lo que yo me río que Trump goes like, we won. You saw that?
Yeah, we won. What the fuck did we win?
What the fuck did we win?
He's like,
we agreed to the 10-point plan. Did you see the 10-point plan, bro?
Stupid.
The 10-point plan lets them enrich uranium. So we went to war so that we could let them build the nuclear bomb now. And Israel was like, fuck that. And they attacked Lebanon, and then they closed the Strait of Hormuz again.
They closed the Strait of Hormuz, and then Trump is like, we're doing a blockade.
We're doing a blockade, yeah.
How are you going to do a blockade of something that's closed?
Fuck? He wants to do a blockade? Like what?
He announced this blockade. The U.S. is doing a blockade of the Strait of Hormuz. But the Strait of Hormuz is closed.
It's closed.
What the fuck are you talking about?
How can you do a blockade when something that's closed already?
You don't even own it. Like, it's so stupid. The amount of stupidity that has happened with this administration is dumb. But we can go into this shit, but it's so overplayed. I hate talking about it. Let me tell you why.
Why?
Because it's stupid. That's why.
But we got to talk about it. I feel like we got to talk about it because a lot of people, I feel like it's so easy to turn away and turn a blind eye, right? But this shit, and I know there's a lot going on. And I spent a couple of episodes not talking about none of this shit. I did. And there's a reason, because I felt like I was over it. It was done. It was hectic. It felt like there's something new every fucking weekend. And when he does things to manipulate the market. That's how come he does it on a Friday. Que esto lo otro. You know, the ones that are winning right now are BlackRock, Vanguard, all those people that are private investors, big equities, because they see what's going on and they're like, you know, they have their inside information. Yeah. And he does things to manipulate it during those times, right? But, you know, unfortunately, all that shit is going to come back to bite us in the ass. You know, the prices of our goods are going to go up. You know, right now, I think in Australia, people are not getting enough goods and food products, right? Gas is going to go up here. And I think people think that it's only gas because of what we're going to be driving. No, it's going to be the food that we cook. Yeah. The cost of things coming into the United States of America, right? Things that are everyday products, food, everything, materials for us to build houses. So the cost of everything around us is going to... Right now, also, the dollar went down a little bit. That even in Dominican Republic, I think right now it's like 60 pesos. It went from 64 to 60 pesos to $1. Right? So it's crazy. It's just like...
I think we can't turn a blind eye. I think you're right about that.
Uh-huh.
Still hate talking about it. Because I'm just shaking my head the entire time. Yeah. And especially all these people being like, I didn't vote for this. Mm-hmm. And I'm just like, you did.
But there's still people that defend it, though. That's crazy. That's the crazy part.
Gente estúpida.
This man can't do no wrong with these people.
And I think I've lost my sense of nuance when it comes to all of this. Uh-huh. And all I can say is, like, I don't even want to argue about this shit anymore.
Because you're talking to the wall.
I think you're dumb and you're stupid. And the thing is, like, and it sounds fucked up, but I'm also over trying. Like, when you have a debate with somebody who doesn't understand this stuff, it's like talking to a brick wall. And they're not interested in hearing a different perspective.
No. They want to just... I think it's more ego than anything. They just want to respond. But because if you think about it, none of this... We were good. We had the Iran deal. We were good with the Iran deal. Mm-hmm. He took us out of the damn Iran deal. And then he said, we're paying too much. I'm like, we're paying them back their money. So that they wouldn't build a nuclear warhead. Yeah. And then you attack them. And then you killed their leader during your first term. You killed the leader. and then you come back, you attack them again. Like you think they're gonna be like happy-go-lucky? Let's now try. And they were in the middle of a negotiation, bro. They were in the middle of a negotiation when they last bombed them. When they took out the whole regime, and he was like, yo. And then the Pete Hegseth comes out like, this was not regime change, but regime change did happen. I'm like, what is wrong with
They also keep calling it, it's not a war.
It's not a war. It's a military operation.
It's a military operation. It's not a war. And then Trump will be like, we won the war. So is it a war or is it not a war?
No. Trump himself said, you can't call it a war. We can't call it a war anymore. You can't say the term war no more because you need approval. So that's why we're calling it a military operation. I'm like, bro, this guy.
This is so dumb.
This is like a skit, bro.
Es un pinche circo. That's what it is. And the thing is, it never stops. It never stops. And you're just like, this is so dumb. And it's hard to talk about it because it's like, there's only so much of this ridiculousness that you can talk about before you're like, you know what? What's the point? Whose minds are we changing?
I think that's how a lot of people feel discouraged, and I see it why a lot of people turn away because you're like, damn, we do so much, and we vote a certain way, we bring certain people into office, they fix the shit, and then we're gonna put somebody else in that's gonna overturn all of that. Mm-hmm. Like all the progress that we made, we're gonna bring somebody else that's gonna change and get rid of everything.
Yeah, and then the next president has to clean up that mess.
Now they have to clean up that mess,
and then they're gonna be judged on how quick, how slow it took them to fix everything. That's why there's never progress.
No. And the last thing about it, Jovia Megan Kelly was like, can you stop the chaos? I'm like,
no, she's responsible.
Bro, what do you mean? Like, do you remember his first term? It was all chaos. It was complete chaos.
I think that's the part that fucks me up. We experienced all of this before.
Yeah.
And I think people just forgot about that.
Yes.
They forgot about the fact that he was president and things went to shit.
Yeah.
And people still were like, I'm going to vote for this guy. He put out Project 2025. They put out Project 2025 telling you exactly what he was going to do.
And
he's at every rally telling you exactly what he's going to do. And then people are still like, I didn't vote for that.
What do you think that is? Why would people still like move
Because
on?
People are hateful. Because people are stupid, because people are racist, because people don't like other people, because people don't like trans people, because people don't like gay people, because people don't like poor people. Even poor people don't like poor people. So that's why you have all of these motherfuckers voting for this white orange piece of shit.
I think it was not only him. I think it was like it's an array of a whole lot of people, a lot of influencers, like these toxic streamers and stuff like that. Like there was like a whole hub of podcasters, right? It's like every single one of them, like in the depth of shitty part of society that also great their fame from being infamous. Right, and doing horrible things on the internet and negative shit on the internet that got their popularity. They were like, and these are people that a lot of people follow and look up to, and they have a strong voice, and they all started defending these things. They all started talking bad about black women. Like they normalize talk about bad about black women. Mm-hmm. You see black conservatives shitting on black folks. Mm-hmm. That's one thing I don't like.
We've gotten used to that already.
We got used to it. Like
they do it openly.
They do it right before. People used to hide it. Now it's the opening, right? Shitting on people of color, immigrants. Now Islamophobia. And if you turn on, I remember I would turn on Twitter and you see nothing but like anti-Muslim stuff. Mm-hmm. Nothing but anti-Muslim stuff.
Yeah, it's normalized. Right? The president says all this dumb shit all the time. If the president says it, why can't we say it?
Why can't we say it? Now, also trans people.
Yeah.
LGBT, gay folks.
Yeah, all the trans issue.
Yeah.
Is such a minor issue. It's not like in the context of what's happening in the United States, and then people decide to focus on that shit. Instead of focusing on the economy, on the fact that we have no more health care. Yeah. On the fact that we're paying higher taxes, on the fact that groceries are going up, the fact that egg prices are going up, the fact that we can't pay for energy bills. Like, instead of focusing on that shit, you're going to focus on trans issues. Yeah. Because the Republicans made that shit into a boogeyman when it doesn't exist.
It doesn't exist.
Que estupidez. This is what a world we live in.
You would tell them, do you want to tell them how much you're telling me, how much you're paying for healthcare?
Hell no. I'm ashamed of it. Eso te lo digo, te lo digo en confianza because I'm like,
bruh. But to me,
shit ton if.
But you're not the only one. That means a lot of
everybody.
People. Yes,
it's everybody
to have healthcare.
But they jacked up the prices for my parents too.
What?
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Mm-hmm. Wasn't that from the bill?
Mm-hmm.
The last bill.
The last bill.
They jacked up the prices on everybody.
Yeah.
What was it about the last bill that jacked up the prices? I remember they were talking about that, and then I remember AOC was talking about that.
Yeah, they don't. It also doesn't cover certain things anymore. So they like literally cut
Obamacare.
Not Obamacare, Medicare, just in
Medicare.
General. Yeah, across the board.
What?
So you saw a lot of cuts to Medicare. So therefore, people have to pay more for healthcare, and that's just the reality of it. But no tax on tips. No, but he's not taxing on tips. It's fucking stupid.
People are gonna die from this.
Yeah, of course they are. They already are. But no tax on tips. Stupid. I swear, I get all wild. See, this is así me pongo every time I talk about this shit. Pinches estúpidos. I swear to God. And this goes out mainly to our people.
Yeah.
A la gente latina, fucking Latinos for Trump. Go fuck yourselves.
Go
fuck yourselves. I swear to God, they won't like you as los Latinos for Trump. They are never gonna like you. They will never like you. They see you as a wetbag. Te ven el nopal en la cara. They don't fucking like you, and he will never love you. So stop supporting that man.
Do you see all the
pinches pendejos? Men, a los pinches hombres. I swear to God.
¿Tú no viste que all those, like, they deported a whole bunch of Cubans with the Trump tattoos? Good. Para que se les quiten. The Trump tattoos y lo están deportando. No, pero vea, ¿cómo va a deportar a mí?
Pinches cubanos.
There was a dude that had the Trump's face on his chest. This is crazy. And I hopefully these people wake up. Do you think these people are going to wake up?
No, porque son estúpidos. No tienen madre.
Norberto's going off today. He pissed.
Yeah.
I don't think you're pissed. I think you're disappointed.
I'm very disappointed. Latinos for Trump. Specifically toward Latinos for Trump. Specifically toward Latino men. They disappoint every single time. And I'm included in that. I think that's what's sad about it.
Damn. And I don't know how we got here. I wonder if we could turn things around. I think we can. Things are turning around. People are waking up. You think so?
No. No. We're not because we keep hoping for the happy ending. I don't think there is a happy ending here. What we can hope for is to make sure that our loved ones are good, to keep doing what we can for our own communities, for the places that we live in. I think that's a good thing. And as Mr. Rogers said, look for the helpers. So yeah, I can criticize Latinos for Trump all day, every day. But at the end of the day, people still need to be helped. And so you look forward to the helpers. Who's doing good stuff? Who can we support? So I think of it that way, on a more localized level. Because if I start thinking about it globally, or at least nationwide about what's going on, I get frustrated.
I think we also all are feeling it right now. And it's just like when you wake up, you're like, oh, it's a nice day today. Oh, there's an attack. You hear mierda.
That's why we got to just take care of our neighbors, take care of our loved ones.
Yeah, take care.
Make sure we're all good. If you see ice, report it. You know, all that good stuff.
I think a lot of people. I'm seeing people regretting it now.
It's too late.
I have family.
Too late. I can't do anything with that regret. We told you.
We did.
It'd be one thing if he hid it from people and he was just like, secretly, I have this plan.
Yeah.
To create the largest, mass deportation in American history. No. This man was clear about what he was going to do. It's just that people voted for him, not thinking that his actions were going to affect them.
Yeah. They felt like they're not talking about me. They're talking about somebody else. It is the others.
It's going to happen to somebody else. It's never going to happen to me.
And it's happening to everybody. Everybody's feeling it. And they're enriching, like the rich are enriching their pockets, bro. They are winning.
Like los tres de Habana.
¿Cuál? Ay, por Dios.
Esos pendejos.
Te voy a votar.
por Donald Trump. Ok.
Sí,
Ok.
ahí, con tu mierda.
Ok, pues ya votaste por él.
Sigue ahí, coño. Tú querías
Nos
tu
vemos.
voto. Nos vemos. Well, I have hope. I do have hope that things will change around, turn around. I think people are waking up. But I think people, with this conversation that we have, people listening to the conversation we're having today, this conversation right now, hopefully, people take in what we're saying, right? But it depends on people like us creators. We impact people. We're here to also wake people up because there's a majority of other people putting out all this negative information, this bad and wrong information, unbacked material, right? So what we do right now, the people are listening, share this podcast, share people like us, support us, support people that are actually going against this superpower that's impacting all of our lives. Everybody's being impacted, right? And people are losing their lives today. We have military members that wouldn't be dead today if this would have never happened. If this man would have never been in office.
Yeah.
Right?
Absolutely.
This whole thing with Iran, it would have never happened.
It doesn't need to happen.
It doesn't even need to happen.
Yeah. But here we are.
But that's what happens when you put psychopaths in office. There you go. And that's how we wrapped it all up.
Message
received. Bueno, mi hermano, thank you for coming. Lo quiero mucho. Yo, thank you guys for coming in for our, I think, 46th episode. I think this one's it. I appreciate you guys for hanging out, being here. Shout out to Paola. Shout out to Passion. Shout out to all the people that support. I see you. I see you in the comments. Lo quiero mucho. Make sure you to subscribe and like the video. Lo quiero. La pase bien. Yeah, have a good night.